I know we've talked about being spirit led before,
All the time.
but
Yes.
how do you know when it's gone from being spirit led into chasing?
Ooh, that's a great question.
That could be relationships, that could be
Yeah.
professionally, that could be intimate relationships or casual relationships.
Relationship with another person. You're chasing to gain something.
For something.
Yes, that may not be for your highest good.
May not. Even when it is spirit led. But at what point does it change?
Right. I think we found today's topic for our podcast.
I think we did.
All right. So this whole chasing.
Thing.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. What came up for me at first was this. One of the reasons that I'm going to speak for myself, but I think I'll speak for you too, but we'll see. I stopped doing personal readings is because so many people, 2 out of 3 people at least, want relationship reading. When am I going to meet my person? Or does this person still like me? I haven't had contact with this person. What are they thinking? There's this, it's so sad that there's this chasing element. So that's where I thought you were going. And then you open it up to, you're right. It could be anything you're
anything.
Yes.
Any relationship. Okay. It would still be a relationship if it's drugs or alcohol, right? You're still chasing a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And what? Ooh, I almost said those aren't spirit led, but in a way they are. Right? They're not like spirit led right now, but contracted before we come into this life, which is a whole nother topic, but still.
But I think, sorry, okay. You know what's coming in now because I can't stop. Part of what we're here to do, because everyone is chased. Everyone has chased a job, a person, money, alcohol, something. Everyone, there's somewhere in your life where you've done the chasing and something is out of your reach, right? I just forgot what I was saying. I even dumped myself there. I even interrupted myself there. The saying. Okay, I remember the saying. So one of the reasons we gave up doing personal readings is because people want all this relationship and they're chasing someone. And the saying that comes to mind all the time is, you can't want something more than it wants you. Especially when it's a person. We saw that all the time when I used to do readings years ago. I'm glad that I did them. It really honed my reading skills and my channel. But I would always say, why are you chasing this person? They clearly are not for you. Or it was usually women that came to me. So I'm saying it in that context. I know it happens the other way too.
Oh, sure.
It does. Sure. But it's like the dude isn't interested. And it was so heartbreaking to watch these women continue to go after something that doesn't want them. Mm-hmm. And I would try, at some point I would start saying, you know what, you need to heal. You need to figure out why this, that, and so.
And then it's a peace out.
Yes, that's a peace out. So not only did I quit them, they quit me.
Bring up the H word and
yes,
you want to bolt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You wrote something down there, I saw.
I did. What I wrote down was, you can't want it more than the other person this is a little off topic, but you can't want something for someone else
Yes.
more than that person wants it for themselves either.
Yes.
And we can chase that. We can chase something that's not even ours to chase.
Yes.
That belongs to someone else.
Yep. Yep. True that. Yes.
That is a gross gift of codependency right there.
Yes. Yes.
It is.
And wanting that connection at the cost of ourselves.
That's what chasing comes down to.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Is wanting a connection that we can't find within ourselves.
Yeah. And we've seen this so often, even people who are in relationship. So if there's a couple and they're in relationship and they're clearly really unhappy, and one of them is absolutely bending over backward to try to please this partner, and you're never going to get it from them. Never going to get it.
No.
Why are you bending over back? What is the payoff to you to continually bend over backwards and try to make this person love you when clearly they don't?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we know that there's some contract, there's some karma, something's coming in for you to work out in this lifetime, that you've probably done this in many a lifetime. And by you stopping that pattern, breaks the karma and the contract. Done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm putting myself first.
Yes. Finding self-validation.
Mm-hmm.
Finding how to validate yourself, to believe that how you feel is valid.
Yes.
To find, not to find, to give yourself approval.
Yeah.
Approval, validation. Those are two huge things that once upon a time I chased.
Oh, haven't we all?
I chased it for that.
Yeah. Yes. Haven't we all?
I'm not going to go there, but those are
Yeah.
two of the main reasons that we chase people.
Right.
Is to get that validation and that approval.
Yes.
That feel good.
How many times have we seen this at a job? You got the old kiss ass over there and you're like, oh my God, just, you see, the boss walks out and that person like runs up behind it, always has something to say and wants to talk to him and the rest of us are looking around like, what the heck? Stop already.
Yeah.
Stop. But I think one of the things that we notice is that, well, sort of, we know that we're doing that in somewhere in our life too, and it grosses us out, but we're not willing to, because the way I do it is different. My situation is so different. I'm doing it because, he really does want me. He just, he's just not a communicator. So, I really, yeah. No.
Okay.
No. Yes. And does that all come down to why we're here and our self-worth?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
When we are spirit-led,
yes,
we have that pull, that soft voice, not that big yelling voice, but that soft voice that says, connect with this person, connect with this person. There's a reason.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that this is going to be a lifelong, super deep, and
right.
I'm trying to refrain from saying meaningful.
Right.
Because even the smallest of connections are meaningful in some way. They're very pertinent to our healing and our growth.
Yeah.
But I don't think people look at it that way, right? Deep and meaningful means it has to be like all encompassing and lasting forever and romantic and all of that.
And clearly there's trauma there. You're trauma bonding.
Yeah.
It's an absolute trauma bond. When you're chasing someone, there is, and it's not, and let's sort of bring this to light too. There is going after, because what just came to mind was this, because, you know, my situation was different. So, no, but years ago when I kept getting the messaging that I need to find a physical space to work. So TCS needed to have a physical space.
Right.
I looked and looked and looked and looked. Oh, it was horrible. I remember just driving around looking, because not everything's listed, right? So I'm driving around. I'm really being led. Like I was in one area and I knew, no, this just isn't right. And I was led over here. And so I knew the general area. I got to that point and I just started crying one day. And I was just so, it's like, is this really supposed to happen? Like I'm busting my hump here. I'm out chasing, trying to find this place.
Yep.
And for me, I knew what it was I was supposed to do. The chasing really was some trauma. I have to have it and I have to have it now, right? And it has to look a certain way and blah, blah, blah. When I finally stopped, I went, okay, I'm in tears. I'm sitting in my car, car's running. I just pulled over this and I just started crying. And of course, my dad came in because that's what he does to comfort me and just said, let go. Just loosen your grip, just let it go and just be. And because at that point, you stop hearing spirit. What you're hearing is your ego telling you to go out every day and look and look and look and look in the, I almost said the paper.
Well, at that point, right?
Wow, that's been a long time. People aren't, you know, younger people are never going to know the satisfaction of running to the store and grabbing a paper to look in the want ads or, you know, whatever. That's just, that was such an awesome thing, I think. And it's all online now. But anyway, whoo, there's a memory. And it did. I let go and said, okay, I'm just going to let this go. I have to, for my own sanity, spirit. I hear you. I know what you want from me. So I'm just going to open it up and just allow myself to be open to whatever. And my husband and I went out to dinner one night and we're sitting there. It's on this main street. And he looks across the street and goes, oh, there's a space for rent right there. Why don't we look at that before, or, you know, after dinner before we go?
Yeah.
And that was my space. That was the first one.
Right.
So
yeah,
that had been for rent for a month. So I had driven past it many a time, but I was so focused on it had to be a certain way, or, you know, the energy, I was not in flow. And so I did not get it.
Yeah. It's so easy. So easy. And I mean, it's easy with relationship too, to you know, get that pull. You know, you're supposed to connect with this person, but you don't know why. Well, you reach out to them and they reject you, and you reach out again and they reject you, and then you find a different way, and then pretty soon, pretty soon you're stalking somebody.
Pretty soon the cops are at your door.
I mean, hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Yes.
But there is that kind of stalker mentality that can happen to us when we're like, okay, how else can I try to meet them?
Yes.
How else can I try to get their attention?
Yes.
What else can I do?
Putting it's as if that attaining that person is going to make me happy. No matter, they could treat me like crap, they could treat me however they're going to treat me. Even now, the fact that they're saying no, they're closing doors, they're not answering their phone, they're whatever, and I'm continually, that's some
wounding.
Wow, it is. And to see it that way, and there is nothing wrong with it. It's actually a beautiful to see it go,
to see it? Oh man, that's beauty right there.
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. When you see that it's trauma, it changes your perspective right away. And really the behavior stops. The behavior stops almost immediately when you get the clarity. This is trauma.
Yeah.
And that person, and there's also a piece of, why are we not respecting that person's boundaries? That person said no. Even if the person ghosted you, that's still a boundary. It's not kind, but let's say they ghosted you. That's still a boundary. They're saying, I don't want you to cross it. But you know us, we're just going to keep crossing that boundary, trying to get to them, trying to get to them, trying to get to them.
That's the power of ego. That's the power of wounding.
Yeah.
And the power of denial.
Because denial, for sure.
If you feel this person, you're being led to this person.
Yes.
We're not going to think, oh, I'm led to this person so they can turn me down so I can look at my wounding.
Right.
But that could be exactly why spirit wants you to go to that person.
Yes.
That's exactly the reason, is so you can get shut down and you can go, whoa, what am I doing?
And you know what? That's what a soulmate is. And that's what it feels like when you've had a past life with someone, or there's some karma to work out. I mean, there's all kinds of ways this could be, but sometimes, well, no, those people come into our life for that lesson, but that pull is so strong. And we may even know, I've had lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes with this person. That's why the pull is so strong. Stop. Like, no, I mean, yes, that could be, you have all those lifetimes together, but in this lifetime, they're here to help you and you help them. It's always two ways. Both people always learn something.
Always. Yeah.
But I have the chance now to heal this.
Mm-hmm.
I just got a big old swat in the face that this is trauma.
Yeah.
And thank you. And thank you, whoever you are, for bringing that to my attention. Thank you for coming lifetime after lifetime and lifetime with me for all of these wonderful lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something else we do with people we already have a relationship with is it doesn't look or feel the way we think it should.
Yes.
So we constantly try to make it fit that need or that fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And so we chase that unrealistic vision
yes
of what it should be.
And we take on a big burden doing that. That's a lot to take on.
It's a lot. I'm
not only trying to make myself happy, I'm trying to make this person happy. And really, I'm not going to be happy till this person's happy. So I'm going to do backflips until they get happy, but they're never going to be happy because I'm not happy with myself. And they're, they've got some issues too if they're watching you do it all.
Not my job to make them happy either. No. And nor is it their job to make me happy.
Right. Yes.
Getting into that fantasy land though.
Yeah.
And sorry, lost it.
Yes, getting into that fantasy land and thinking that you're going to make them happy. And that happy is going to come back at you and you're going to be happy.
Yep.
It never works that way.
It never works. It never works.
Now, does that mean you can't do something nice for your partner? No. My husband and I do nice things for each other all the time. You and I do nice things for each other all the time. Yeah. And we appreciate it. But it's not, we're not chasing each other. I'm not saying, oh, if I don't make Mari-Lyn happy, my whole life's going to shit.
You've never said that? Never said that?
That's out of the bag. Oops, I said the quiet part out loud, didn't I?
I have said that.
You have said what?
If I don't make Pam happy, my life's going to shit.
Oh no. How come I never heard this?
Because that's part of my gross codependency that I've been healing.
Well, you've gotten over
that's been
I can tell everyone Mari-Lyn's gotten over that. Yeah.
That has been a while ago. But yes. there was a time where every relationship that I have had, at some point, there has been a remnant of that. If I don't make them happy, I'm not worth anything. And I have healed so much that now that I know it's not my job to make anybody else happy. It's my job to find that place within me, to find that self-love and that self-worth and that self-respect. To where I can fall down. I can pick myself up.
Absolutely.
And then I can reach out for help. But I know now I can pick myself up. And I know boundaries to set when I can't. So, and that chasing, when you fall down and you start chasing to help someone else to help pick you up, that's a low place to be. But
really low.
But it happens, and it happens to a lot of people.
And I've certainly done it. I've certainly done it many times in my life. Certainly being the child of a narcissist or narcissism, whether she was never diagnosed, but they didn't diagnose them back then.
No.
But I have all the symptoms of narcissistic abuse. So I'm going with it. And you learn that other people's happiness is more important than your own. And that for you to feel better, to not get in trouble, to be balanced, to be okay. Not that you're ever really balanced when you're dealing with a narcissist, but you learn that and you chase that. You chase people to make them happy, because if I make them happy, then I'm going to be happy too. So I totally know that. I totally know it. I just didn't know you did that with me. But I can see that now. I can, yeah. And I think what's on top of it, or added to that, because this happens being a teacher, and I have, not with all of my students, but there's a core group of students whom I have a relationship with. They are part of TCS.
Right.
They're my friend and my student. So there is that sometimes will happen in that sort of relationship. And at first, now that part, I think you, but all students do it. They want to please their teacher. They want to please their teacher. So that does happen.
And it was, I don't even mind going here. During that time frame of being a real partner and not knowing how to do that. And that was really a challenge to maneuver through.
And I didn't know how to do it either. I knew that was my goal, and was to have a partner. I've always known that. Like, Spirit's always been really clear. This is not a solo project for you. And not only are you going to have a partner, you're going to have a whole team.
Right.
So I chased everyone because I thought, well, this must be my partner. Yes. And then when you came along, that's when we knew spiritually, and because there were many times when in any other relationship, you and I would have been, peace out, biatch. I'm like it, but we have never done that with each other. Not once.
Nope.
Not once. We might get mad at each other, and we may not speak to each other for a few hours or, overnight or whatever, but we always come together and talk about it and say, you know what?
Yeah.
I know this is my shit, but I'm really mad at you. And I think the piece of this is my shit is how it's bearable to sit. Okay, I'm going to sit and talk to you about this because you're open enough to see what's yours. And then eventually the other person says, oh yeah, well, this is my shit too. Because if there's one trigger, usually both of you get. Certainly in our case.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We trigger a lot.
And if it's not triggered in the same incident,
Yes.
there's triggering in
when we're talking about it. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's happened both ways. I'm sure it's happened always.
Yes.
You cannot be in relation with somebody and there not be conflict, disagreement, miscommunication. You just can't.
So maybe you can help with this. Because all of a sudden I thought, okay, Pam, I just said I knew that Spirit had a partner for me. And I knew I was also to be a part of a big group.
Yes.
Me as the leader, that took a while to really come to terms with, but that's how that looked. Not with you. You and I are partners, but then we have, this group of students who's coming up and they're, oh my gosh, they're fabulous. Anyway.
They are.
And how many people I chased thinking, oh, this must be my partner. So there had to be a place in there where I realized, oh, this is not Spirit led. This is something else. This person is a lesson for me. They're not my partner. It's a lesson here. So that's a lot to fish out. Because as we are talking about, how do we know?
Right.
I was giving myself away is when I look back on it, because what would happen was I would end up getting so pissed off and I'd just be done. I'd just tell them to go away, which needed to happen, but it probably should never have got to that point. But I didn't see it at first. And I was very ingratiating and trying to make them happy and everything. And I stopped hearing Spirit, even though I thought I did. I was like, no, this is supposed to be my partner.
But I think you answered your question just a few minutes ago when you talked about how other people's happiness was more important than your own.
Yes. And I would finally come to that. So for all of you out there who are nice and confused now, and you're wondering if whatever this, excuse me, relationship you're in, pardon me, this relationship that you're in right now, and how do you know you're chasing or Spirit led? Take a moment. Yes. Get grounded. Listen to yourself. What things are you doing? Are you trying to make this person happy? Are you trying to be seen by this person? Are you trying to create something by yourself or for the other person? Are you building the other person up? You're making yourself smaller to build that person up, or however that it's crazy making. However that, if it's making you crazy.
That's what I was just going to say. Yeah. If it's making you crazy, it's time to put a stick in the spoke.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Stop that wheel from turning so you can look at all of the moving parts.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you that story? I'm sure I did. Sorry, you said stick in the spokes. When I was 3, I was riding on the back of my sister's bike and it was scaring me, so it was going too fast. So I put my leg in there. Yeah, broke my leg.
Ow.
Yeah, yes. So yes, reevaluate. If you're not feeling fulfilled, there's a reason. There is a reason. And is that reason because you have some magical thinking or some codependence? Is something happening here that you're creating a relationship where there really isn't one? And it can be small things like the person didn't call you when they were supposed to. I mean, this is truly, yes, we can make a mistake and not do it, but did that start looking at what their behavior is? Did they not show up on time? Did they not call you when they're supposed to? Did they leave with another friend, sort of leave you out? Do they demand things of you? Or do they sort of play on that well, I know she really wants she'll do anything to get my friendship, so I'm going to ask her for things. Or, just see, is there a nice balance there? Is there a give and take?
Mm-hmm.
And look at that.
Mm-hmm. What's coming is, are you constantly looking at your phone? Are you anticipating the message, the email, the comment?
Yes.
On Facebook? Is your time and your focus spent on looking for reaction from people?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. All of that.
That's all part of chasing.
Are you waiting, just sitting there waiting for your boss to come out of his office so you can run and talk to him? Sorry. I have this vision in my head, this one girl that did that all the time at a place I worked at. And now I can look at it and see how sad. I think, how sad was that? She did have some ambitions to go up in the company, but that's not what it was. There was some real trauma bonding there. And I remember laughing at her, and I feel bad now. It's like I was laughing at her wounding. I didn't know at the time that's really what that was, but I'm so sorry. Now it's like, oof. Yeah. But yeah, so chasing, that's what it looks like. Ugh, stop. Just stop.
We can even chase power.
Oh man. Yes. Yes.
I was just thrown into a memory of when I was
a headache.
I do too.
This weather's been,
I think it's our weather.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I almost want to go put sunglasses on.
Yeah, I keep taking my glasses on and off, like I don't know what. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, talk about your memory, please.
Yeah, chasing a power or authority. In this job, I was given authority in the shift that I worked. Mm-hmm. Tag, I was it. I was big boss for that 6 hours. Yeah, I took advantage of it.
Yeah. Oof.
I did. And what I was just shown was I owe this person an apology. No idea how to find that person. So I will do that at some point today. I will call in their higher selves and apologize energetically.
Yes.
But it was chasing approval through my own authority.
Yes. Oof.
Ouch. I'm your boss. Damn it. You're going to respect me.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
You know,
the beatings will continue until morale improves, or
right.
Yeah. And some people would rather be feared than respected, or they get those two confused. I want you to.
Yeah. Fear is respect.
Yes. To some people. It isn't.
To some people, right.
Yes. Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. And you're going to get a lot more out of people if they respect you than fear you. Mm-hmm. What a horrible thing to be on the other end of that too, to take advantage of someone. I really don't know exactly what it's like to be on that side of it. I think I've had times of that in my life, but moreover, I'm on the other side of it.
To be the person in charge and taking advantage of that. It's gross. I can tell you, I've done it more than once, and it's awful.
Yeah.
Even when it's happening and somewhere inside, what you're doing, and your wounding is so prevalent that you cannot stop yourself.
Yes. Oof.
It's awful.
Yeah, it is.
It's awful.
So if any of you are in that situation where you feel like you're chasing, please stop and I'm not saying, yes, stop chasing for a moment, but I guess what I meant by that, please stop. I meant to stop and take a moment to really look at it, to look at yourself, to get in meditation. Of course, this is a great place to plug Fred's Meds.
Oh, absolutely.
If you haven't listened to Fred's Meds, please do. They're small meditations that pack a big punch. Yeah. And they'll really help you get clarity and healing, all kinds of, I mean, they're amazing. They are. But take a moment, get quiet, and ask yourself, ask spirit, your own soul, ask, what is the purpose of this relationship? And sit and wait for an answer. Listen. As we know that people get their answers all the time and they're saying, I don't understand what, or I didn't get an answer, but boy, I had this dream and you're like, that's your answer right there. That's it.
Yep.
Yes, you will get an answer.
So many ways.
Yes.
So
one of my favorite ways to get messaging is through watching TV. When you're sort of spaced off, you're kind of listening, kind of not, and all of a sudden your ears perk up and you hear a few words or a sentence that really mean nothing to anyone in the room, but boy, it hits you hard. You know that was a spirit message to you. I love when that happens. So pay attention to that. It's not all, I know, are there things as angel numbers and stuff? Yes, and they're wonderful, but they're not answering questions. They're not bringing that to you as much as you're going to get it through dreams, through thoughts, through the TV, through music. That's how it all comes up for you, especially this time of year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This eclipse season. Woo dog. Yes. It doesn't usually affect me as much as it has this time, but man, this has
past couple months, boy, it's been crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
The energies have just been wild. What to do when we realize we're chasing? Does that mean we just stop and give up completely on connection? Does that mean we go into a pity party? Does that mean we go into self-loathing? Or does that mean we look at the lesson and we start to heal and we look for different spirit-led connections?
Ding, ding. I'll take door 3, Mari-Lyn. But I've done all those. I've done the pity party. I've done, isn't that gross? A pity party is so awful. And it just takes you down farther. You jump down that rabbit hole.
Yep. And when you finally get to the place where you can go, I'm at a pity party. Yes. I am totally feeling sorry for myself.
Yeah.
Honestly, that can be one of the most boosting feelings.
Yes.
That clarity.
Yes.
When you see it yourself.
Yes.
Yikes.
Yes. Yikes is right.
Wow. Okay. Now what do I do with it?
Yes.
Now what do I do with it? How do I get out of it? How do I process it? What do you mean it's just as easy as choosing not to be here?
Yes.
Well,
it kind of is.
Kind of is. And easy does not mean simple.
Oof. No, it does not. No.
Easy does not mean simple.
And
simple doesn't always mean easy either.
No.
Those words are not symbiotic.
No. I had these words sort of roll around in my head because we all know people like this who are, especially in this field of spirituality, of psychic, etc. Just change your vibration. Just be in a high vibration. People do it all the time. Oh, you just don't look at it. And you just, you get in your high vibration and it's all love. Isn't it all about love? And we
Pink
have
Cloud City. Pink Cloud City.
Yes. Can that help you in a moment? If you're someplace and you feel yourself taking a dive and you just have to get through that day, you have to get through that event, you have to get through, absolutely, just try to swing yourself into that high vibration, raise it up, and get through that event. Put a smile on your face, even though you don't really want to. Get through it, and then you can look at it later. So yes, that happens, but we have to look at our past. Our past really dictates where we're going, and it helps us. So our past, there's this, I am not the person I was in the past. Thank God. I am not that wounded, broken person. However, all those events that happened and all the healing have shaped me into who I am today, which is the real me. Yes. Reach out for help if you feel yourself in that situation, whether it's us, whether it's a therapist, whatever you need. Again, I'm going to say not always the best friend, because we don't want our best friend to hurt. If you have a best friend that can sit there and just hold space for you while you,
Sure.
you know.
But having a best friend that's going to jump into your pity party and then bring their own pity party in with them.
Yeah.
That's just not helping anybody. It's
no,
so counterproductive.
Yes. Yes. I do have another thought.
Yes.
This came up and I actually wrote it down so I would remember. Is another way of trauma bonding with earthies. We trauma bond with spirits, low vibrational spirits. Well, you might call ghosts, we call earthies. There is a huge area for trauma bonding with. Huge, yes. And there's chasing them. There's always thinking about them. There's putting your life on hold because of them. We've had people tell us, well, I have to be home by 8. Otherwise, the ghost gets upset or starts throwing things around or whatever. So you're being controlled now by an earthbound spirit. You're being controlled by something. You are being dragged into a relationship under your own free will.
Yeah.
That isn't a real relationship. That is not, you are not getting anything from that soul, that spirit. Yes.
Perceived. You're
Yes.
getting perceived.
Yes.
Love, attention.
Yes.
There
is a very false, there is a connection there, but it's not a healthy one. And it's a very, it's false. It's not real. It is another abusive relationship.
Yes.
And I'm sure there are people out there screaming at me, well, I have this ghost in my head and she's so sweet and she doesn't want to go anywhere and she loves me. Nope. Sorry. No. They don't live in that realm that they're able to love, that they're able to. Love is such a beautiful high vibration. It has a vibration all on its own. They cannot get there. What they see is someone who can fill the needs that they have right now.
Yes.
And the need that they have right now is they're in survival. They don't know there's a better place. They don't know they can cross over. They don't know that they could actually heal and get better. So yes, trauma bonding happens with spirits as well, ghosts.
It happens all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. Man.
Yes.
I just don't even know how to put into words what's going in through my brain.
Please try.
The loneliness that the living person has.
Yes.
To put all of their time and energy into a ghost.
Yes. Yes. That is not they do not have full capacity to think, to feel, to be a part of your life. There is nothing there that I'm going to say, deserve. There's nothing there that they can give you that you deserve.
No, they can't. And
the other way either.
The other way either. No, they're the only thing that they're getting is your energy.
Yes.
Your energy.
And they are controlling you. They are controlling. You can sit there and tell us all day long that they don't control me. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They're controlling you by keeping in connection with you, keeping you in some sort of relationship with you. They are controlling you. They're taking your energy. They're taking your time. They're keeping you from your friends. You think about them. The vibration in your house is so low. You're not finding joy anymore.
Mm-mm.
You're not finding
the
joy.
The lower your vibration is, the more fed they become, the stickier they can be.
Yes.
With you.
Stickier. That's good.
Yeah. And if you're in that low vibration and you think there's love happening here, oh
yeah.
No.
Isn't that sad that we're that we're looking for love so much that we would take that as love? Yeah. So what comes up too are those dolls, those haunted dolls or whatever.
Haunted dolls. Yeah.
If you are buying one of those because you want something to love, oh, I am so sorry. I really am. Like, it hurts my heart because that is not a real relationship. It is not a real relationship.
No, it's not. There's some healing that needs to happen.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Yeah. So whether we chase a human relationship, a paranormal relationship, we are chasing a feeling, a job, doesn't matter what we're chasing.
Right.
If we have gone from being spirit led to chasing, what's the hole? What's the wounding? What's missing inside that only we and spirit can fill?
Absolutely.
Is it difficult to stop chasing? Yes, it is, because we have to look inward. But finding what that is, what that hole is, where it came from, how to heal it, and how to find a way to validate yourself.
Yes.
And the only way to do that is through healing.
When I have to say, when I realized what I was doing was trauma bonding, I stopped. Like, I literally had no desire to continue to do it. The clarity of it just was like, bing! Holy crap, that's what I'm doing. It absolutely took the wind out of my sails to continue to do it. So that part, in my opinion, is, if you can hear that, if you can hear Mari-Lyn and I right now saying, this is a trauma bond. You are trauma bonding with this other soul, trying to get your needs met, and they're not being met. This is trauma bonding. Please take time to really, and I'm sure I heard it at the time that I absolutely needed to hear it. And it, a month earlier or a week earlier, maybe I wouldn't have.
Sure. If we're chasing, that needs not being met.
Correct.
Yes. It's pretty simple.
Yes.
And if it's not being met, then we're faced with that choice. Do I keep chasing?
Right.
Do I just stop and fall into this pity party? Yes. I think I already went through all of those.
What else is coming as part of chasing is keeping score. If you're keeping score, that just flew in. Ooh. Yes, that's part of That's part of chasing. That's part of that trauma bond. You're keeping score. I did this and this and this for you, and you know what? You only did that for me. That's, hello. Woohoo.
Or you did this and this and this to me, so I'm going to do this and this and this to you.
Oh, yes. Woo. Yes. So anytime you find yourself in that scorekeeper mode, slow down and look at that. That is you're chasing something that really you need to be looking inside. You need to look in there and see what's happening there, and and it's not easy, to be honest. It is so not easy to admit that that's what you're doing, or it's awful. As a matter of fact, it's awful. However, when you tell that to someone who has respect for you, it's beautiful.
It is.
And that person respects you, respects the words that you're saying, respects what you're going through. This is not, that person, you don't go, okay. I want everyone to refrain from doing this.
Uh-oh.
When you realize that you're keeping score with this other person, don't run right to that other person and say, "Oh, I'm keeping score. I'm so sorry." Stop yourself from doing that. You are you are trying to get, you are still scorekeeping. You're trying to get
and you have just amped up the chase.
Yes. No. Figure it out for yourself, or talk to yourself first. Look inside, do your meditations, do your sitting with spirit, do all those things. Talk to a counselor, a therapist, an honest friend, someone who's going to sit with you, that person that respects you. Get yourself together before you make that leap. And it might not even be something that would be of your best interest to go apologize to that person.
It might not, especially right away. It might be something that you just stop.
Yes.
Stop keeping score.
Yep. Because
we'll see what happens.
Yeah. We don't want to. Now, the person, it could, I'm not saying that you or that person are being abusive. It can be that way. Yes. If this is an abusive person and you run to them and say, "I'm sorry," you just gave them a bucket of ammunition, and they are so going to take advantage of that. Take your time, look at it. Like I said, speak to someone, start the healing on that, and you'll know whether you go to that person and say something or not. If it's someone whom you two have a relationship and they want to hear and they want to shift and heal too, that's going to happen when you go to them and say, "You know what? Yikes. I've been keeping score, and most likely you've been trying to make sure I don't get my scorecard filled." There's always sort of two sides to it. But okay, that's probably another conversation. Anyway, hey, I think that's probably a good place to stop. Yeah,
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. We have touched on a lot of different areas.
And I will say, there's going to be several edits in this video today. So those of you who are listening or probably watching, you'll see where the edits are. Because I got, there were some things that sometimes you just have to edit
me too.
things out. Yes. And so anyway, and we were interrupted once. And so there's just things, but thank you so much for joining us today. We so appreciate everyone who tunes in.
We do.
And please listen to Fred's Meds. I can't stress it enough. They're free on YouTube. I'm not, it's not like
they are,
and
they, you can look at the title and it draws you in or not. That's not important, because I have experienced, where'd she get that title? I got nothing.
Yes.
But then I'll listen to it again and go, "Oh, makes perfect sense why that's the title."
Yes. Well,
you get exactly what you need at the moment that you listen to it. And that can be different every time. You can listen to it 5 times to get 5 different things.
And really looking for a title that matches what you want isn't always going to bring you what you think. It really isn't.
No.
Fred's meds really go to a place different than they ain't your mama's meditations. They're
No.
very different. They're short, but they pack a big punch, like I said before. And Fred doesn't always, he'll bring me a title, and he doesn't always like to put everything in the title because he doesn't want you focusing on that. Because if you're focusing on it, you're going to miss what you really need to hear.
Right.
And so he's pretty vague when we do those titles. They're pretty vague. And for those of you who don't know, Fred is my main guide, whom I channel. I've had him my whole life. And he is pretty darn fabulous. So, but listen to them.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes a while to get used to his meditation. So you might have to listen to a couple of them before you go, oh, okay, this is the way I need to do that. They have an introduction, and then there's a little piece about how to make the meditations the most helpful for you. And that little piece you only have to listen to once, and then subsequent meditations you listen to the introduction, then you skip forward to the meditation. Anyway, listen to them. They're fabulous.
They're amazing. Yeah.
So, all right. Yeah.
I guess we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.